Thank you.
Oh, I have one.
So I have two.
Mm-hmm.
So one is a happy face, just because from the beginning of the school year until now, I have seen growth, which makes me happy. But then I have an angry face because everyone has already spoken to it, but they just like to test me and
Right.
just to see, well, is she going to implement the rule today? I know she did yesterday, but is she going to give me the same consequence? And I've never failed. I always get the same consequence. So it just makes me angry because I know they're just testing.
To see
But,
what they can get
yeah.
away with.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. I chose, and I'll be really short, this face as well. But the reason why I chose this face, I need for you all to flip over your agenda. Because I feel like we're making progress. And I'm going to explain why I chose this face. Because I think we're actually like doing really well as a team. So if you look at the data that I created in the beginning of the school year, our students were off the chain. So first quarter, out of 31 suspensions, we had 18 of them. So we were 58% of the suspensions were 8th graders. Second quarter, we went down to 37%. Third quarter, down to 35%. And now fourth quarter, there's only 2 suspensions recorded, but we don't have any students that's been suspended. So although they are plucking out nerves and doing all that, you guys should give yourself an applause because this is awesome. Like, this is great. And especially from what I've heard last year, or whatever how the culture is, I just feel like we're really moving in the right direction. So that's why I chose this. So,
Mr. Matthews.
Yeah.
go ahead.
I chose the side-eye guy because I feel like a face that the children see a lot from me. So I wanted to be authentic because it's a lot of like, I'm just going to stand here and wait for you guys to correct yourselves. I've had this conversation 4,700 times and we're not going to have it anymore. And in May, I will no longer be having the same conversations I've had 300 times.
Nice.
That's gonna be me.
Nice.
And I think that's all of us.
Yeah.
Because when we try to correct them, they look at us like we're creating something new that was already in place since the first day of school. But what I want you guys to do, those faces, just make sure you have your name on it so I'll know which face belongs to who. So the second part, what I want us to do is just think about an area of growth as a team that we need to work on. It can be in the cafeteria, it can be during transitions, it can be in the classroom. Because even though we're doing well, there's still room for progress. Although our suspension rate has dropped, we are still giving detentions. Detentions have decreased as well, but we wanna get to the point where we're not seeing as much detentions as well, because the kids know what they're supposed to do. They know. And they know, and then also we're giving them like 2 chances before detention in most cases. So we want to work on that as well. So just think of something, and this is a safe space, no hard feelings, what we can do as a team. So something we need to work on. Something that we're doing okay, but maybe we need to tighten it up. So just think about that. 30 seconds. And I would like for you to just share with someone that's either beside you or around you. You can go over to someone to talk about that because maybe you all are thinking about the same ideas. And we're going to share them out. And our recorder, Connie, will record them for us. So who would like to start? What's one thing you think as an overall 8th grade team that we need to tighten up? Work provision. That's a good one. So what do you think where are we falling short there? Like what exactly do you think we are not doing that motivates them to complete their work?
I think that they figured out that for a long time that it doesn't matter whether they complete the work or not, and whether they fail or not, because they just kind of continue in the system, and since there are no consequences to failing, or at least they're not in the reinforcement, other than the world consequences, I think that we're sort of
anxious, like taking too long to get settled, or like I don't have that paper for the fourth time before using it all week, like play directly into this idea of like, oh, I don't have to do the work, so it's not urgent, or I don't have to do the work, so I don't need to like stay organized. Maybe that's like too much. Somebody stop me if I'm being too
No,
much.
it plays hand in hand, the organizational piece as far as the work.
And just like the sense of urgency, I feel like they get, like there's a lack of sense of urgency because there's a lack of value in work. And some of the off-taskness like plays into that.
So we're saying their organizational skills, the sense of urgency, and work completion.
I think I was just looking at that because I know we've had conversations about this. I feel like that's something that is on the wall, but a kind of a joke. And I mean, we do these things individual, but it's not something that I make the students own. And that I would say is less of our team and more of
The
our
overall.
institution.
Right.
The one that I think sticks out for me is I'm kind when disagreeing with teachers or peers. I think we allow too much engagement in terms of the students talking back. I think we have to figure out a way as a team to shut it down the first time.
Right.
So
Basically.
there has to be an immediate consequence that's consistent every time across the board. I'm tired of people arguing with me
Yep.
about stop talking. But I wasn't. No. Detention.
Yeah.
Or whatever it needs to be.
Yeah.
I agree with you, and the good thing about having team meetings is because we can do that
Mm-hmm.
as a team.
Right.
We don't have to do what everyone else is doing. And if everyone agreed that that's something that we want to do, we can create something that we know that the 8th graders know that you're not going to go back and forth with your teachers. You're not going to be disrespectful.
Mhm.
So that's a good one as well. So we can come up, hopefully by the end of this, we'll come up with something as a team, what we're going to do, our steps, as far as when a student think they're going to talk back and be rude or disrespectful. So that's a good one. Anybody else would like to share or?
I think, as far as what's been going on the last couple of weeks, as far as holding students accountable, I think that kind of ties into what Mr. Matthew was saying. Like, I think if students had more accountability and they didn't feel as though, well, I did this, but tomorrow's another day, whatever,
Follows them. So it should
yeah,
follow
if
them.
they know
Yeah.
that, bam, this is what it is, I feel like, they'll get, they'll be more productive and they won't be as, able to speak back because there are consequences for thinking you, one, can challenge an adult, no
Yep.
more than your teacher, like, right, I think that was the biggest thing, just student accountability, just from the smallest behavior to largest behavior.
I like that. Can I piggyback off that?
Sure.
I guess this is a share out then. An idea as a team, we can decide. An idea can be, since there's like the pajama jam next Friday, right?
You are thinking what? Go ahead. 'Cause
So
I'm
we
thinking
can
the same
set
thing.
criteria. If
Yeah.
you get X amount of demerits or X amount of detention, we can decide how strict we want to go. Then there's no pajama jam. If you get X amount of detentions, then there's no trip. What's the trip? Oh, is the trip only suspension?
Well, the college trip is if they get suspended or 3 detentions in one day.
Perfect. So then, if it's 3 detentions in one day, then you can tighten the talking back. So if they can't get more than 3 detentions in a day, then tighten how much leeway they have with detention. So if you talk back, demerit. Talk back again, detention. So there's no reminder. That's just an idea.
Yes.
Tighten the detention because detention plays into the suspensions and the trip. Definitely tighten the pajama jam.
We can also include the, so we can tie it into that.
Yep. It can be tightened into all 3.
Okay, so can you, record that? How many of you agree that you're okay with that? That we're gonna tighten up the systems as far as the demerit detention, and we're gonna let them know we can have a community circle, and I can relay the message, or I can do it during lunchtime, tomorrow. And let them know that because they're going to high school, we need to hold them more accountable. They're not in 5th grade. They're not babies. So we can, once I get it in writing,
Okay.
then I'll relay the message as far as with the college trip, the prom,
And
and what
the,
was the other thing?
the jam, the pajama
The
jam.
pajama
They care
jam.
about
Yeah.
that much.
Yeah.
But the more is
They
what
will.
they really.
care.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
That's why it has to be all three, because different groups would care about different ones more.
right,
So majority might not care, but these two might care, and so it's just
but we also,
all three.
I like that, but we have to make sure we're all on the same page. You know how different groups, you have that one teacher that's, boom, do everything they're
Oh,
supposed to.
it'll
You
be
have
real
that
clear.
laxy daisy one, like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you one more chance. Nope,
No,
we
no.
all need to be boom.
No,
Okay, so we're gonna do, okay, so if Mr. Matthews, asks Lanaya
I would
to, what's something that you think she'll talk back if you ask her to do?
stop talking.
Stop talking.
but I was just
That stop talking is your warning right there. I'm telling you to stop talking. But if she talk back, then that's the demerit. Is that what we're
No,
saying? So
even
how
tighter.
we're saying it.
as soon as you say stop talking, that's a demerit. Like, so tell them as soon as you talk to them about talking.
As soon as they talk back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So like, okay, so sorry. So stop talking. Like as soon as she talks back. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Demerit.
But if she just stop talking, then she's fine. She's cool. Okay.
And she might suck her teeth. That's cool. Like
Yeah.
that's
Just
cool.
as long as she's
We're
not
just targeting the talking back.
being disrespectful. Do
Yeah.
we all agree though? Everyone? Because I don't want someone feeling like, oh, we doing. Yes. Go ahead.
I do agree, of course I agree, but I just feel like the pushback that we're gonna get from other individuals are that, is
Other
that,
individuals, like.
so let me finish my statement. I feel like the pushback is gonna be that if we're gonna tighten up on the kids at this point, right before the trips, and if that causes certain students, we can probably make a list right now of the kids that this is gonna affect.
Mhm.
Okay, so then are we gonna put anything in place to support them if they have a bad day and get a detention in lab, and then they are upset about that, so then they go to lunch and they do something, so they get a detention there? What support are we gonna put in place in between that second and third detention? And because otherwise,
That's a good
like,
one.
the kids are gonna think
Yeah.
that it's a gotcha, and maybe we're gonna know that a kid, I just
Yeah.
thinking about last year with certain students, like, you know, I don't know that I really want that kid to go to Philadelphia or whatever, you know,
Yeah.
just in the moment.
This
So-
is the thing, we need to document.
Yeah, but it just like, that's my.
Yeah, no, that's a good one, that's a really good one. So if we are, so let's say if we are given a demerit for that, we need to have a tight communication when we document, okay, such and such received this for that, to be fair.
So like I would know if
Yeah.
We all would know.
Lanaya already had gotten 2 detentions before she came to my class, so that the conversation would be a little easier to have.
Or
Or
I see
you could
them in the
even check
beginning,
in with
I see them in the morning in the gym. If I
Yeah.
notice that DeAndre's in a bad mood, I'll let you guys know, like, he's in a bad mood.
What
you know,
happened?
So that way we'll know how to handle him, that way we won't be setting anybody up.
And I have an idea, just an idea. You can also add in like a debrief period, and you can always tell the student like after they get the consequence, like but before they leave your class, hey, why don't you debrief with somebody, like debrief about how you're feeling, so that they can dump that off on me, you, Miss Terry,
Right.
Mr. Jackson, whoever they want to dump it off on, so that they aren't carrying it to lunch.
That's a good one.
So they can add, you say you have the full right to debrief. You can do it whenever you want. But so usually when you deliver the consequence, they're going to be, I don't want to debrief. So just wait a little bit after the consequence is delivered and say, hey, you know, it's kind of tough. We're having like these strict rules and it's May, but I know that stinks. Like, you want to have some time to debrief with adults to like tell them how you're feeling.
Right.
Give them the opportunity. And then they can always say, yeah, can I go debrief with such and such? And we can write them a pass.
Okay.
So.
What do you guys feel about that? So our goal is to choose 2, so our big one will be the disrespect. Do you all want to focus on the lack of turning in work? Is that a big one too for right now? Because they're not feeling like there's a consequence.
Right, if they are failing all their classes,